This person hasn't felt connected to somebody since before residency started. Then I realized I've been away for nearly 10 years. This is totally like medicine in a nutshell. I want to find more wizards because I don't know where the wizards are. What do you dislike about medicine? The business, economic, and political barriers. Definitely. That's a huge part about intern year because we never learned any of this in medical school. And now we're just learning about all of it and how it influences practice. And it's really annoying. I honestly feel like in medical school, we should learn more of this stuff because coming into intern year, you have no idea all the different loopholes and processes and policies that we have to abide by and follow in order to just provide care to somebody. And I think that's probably something that's changed a lot compared to intern year for somebody 30 years ago. I feel like there was less burden of documentation back then. They had less complex patients. They had less of a push to get patients out of the hospital as quickly. So even though they were working longer hours back then, I do personally think that interns in the past did have a little bit more time to connect with patients, which I think is probably the main rewarding and gratifying thing about medicine, and less time on the computer and documenting and jumping through all these different loopholes and having to call all these different people to get things done. So I feel like that probably is one difference that has happened in medicine in the past 30, 40 years. It's frustrating to think that we undergo nearly a decade or more of education or training just to tell someone who is sick that we can't do anything for them because their insurance or lack thereof isn't good enough. So just like the first intern, this person is kind of echoing the same thoughts. When was the last time you felt connected to a patient? I saw a patient last month in clinic who happened to be wearing a golf hat. I was a competitive golfer in high school and I still love the game, so I reflexively asked him about it and had a great talk about golf courses along the California coastline. He even asked if I could be his new cardiologist. That's great. So I had this similar kind of patient experience with this really difficult patient when I was in third year. I was asking people like what their hobbies were, and he said volleyball. And he was like a volleyball coach. He was training both of his daughters to become good volleyball players. And he was this like angry guy who just was so frustrated at his hospital stay and apparently was like yelling at people. But when I talked with him, we spoke for like an hour about volleyball. And I definitely connected with that guy. And I felt like it was very rewarding because he definitely had a bit of a shift in attitude after that as well. And I think it makes a lot of sense to, ask patients about what their hobbies are, what they like to do outside of work, because that's the kind of stuff that helps you connect with patients and ultimately help them, be in better control of their health because they're going to be more willing to work with you. And also, second note about this is that I started golfing recently because my mom has started golfing. So I've gone 4 times now and I'm getting kind of hooked on it too. It's a fun little activity and it's very peaceful and kind of like meditative too. And it's like quiet. It's a nice walk. So man, I gotta say golf is a pretty fun sport. I'm starting to get into it. When was the last time you felt connected to someone outside of medicine? I went camping with my dad before residency started. This person hasn't felt connected to somebody since before residency started. He looked much older than I remember. Then I realized I've been away for nearly 10 years. This is totally like medicine in a nutshell. It's like, holy crap, how much training do we go through? We've been in school forever. And then we come out and we realize people still treat us like we don't know anything, because it's true. When we come out, we still like don't know anything. It's so difficult. It's just constantly not knowing what's going on in medicine. I was sad for a brief moment thinking about all the lost time, but was quickly overcome with immense relief and happiness that I matched close to home so I could continue my training close to family and friends. And like I said before, this just goes to show the importance of picking a location close to family. How would you describe your role in the medical team? Workhorse in training. At this point, I feel like a real doctor because I have autonomy and I'm responsible, but I'm very thankful for my seniors that are super approachable and informative, definitely. How have you changed since you started residency? I think I'm the same me. Probably too early to say if residency has changed me in any way at this point. All right, intern 3. In the next 3 to 6 months, I am most looking forward to being one of the doctors on service. I'm humbled by how much I have to learn. Okay, I don't really totally know what they mean, doctors on service. I guess they just mean inpatient medicine as well. It's interesting that 2 of the responses so far have been, I'm looking forward to my inpatient rotation. Like, they don't have anything else to look forward to. I guess because of COVID. Like, what else do we have to look forward to? I'm sure we have something to look forward to. But I feel like I agree with intern 1 more than intern 2 and 3. Like, I'm ready for my inpatient rotation. That's what I'm most looking forward to in the next 3 to 6 months. I don't know if that's the answer I would go for in this questionnaire, but it is what it is. Different beans for different whatever. What's that saying? What is a challenge you have overcome in the last 3 months? In the last 3 months, I think one challenge I've overcome is learning how to operate in the VA healthcare system. Okay. Yeah, definitely the VA is a tough system to navigate, but I actually surprisingly found it in some ways easier to navigate than Epic. Epic is a lot more powerful and can save you a lot more time as you learn it, but VA is a lot more simple, and CPRS is surprisingly more intuitive than Epic. So in some ways, I felt like it was better a little bit. But I only used it for 2 weeks, and now I feel I'm getting more comfortable with Epic. So I'll probably not feel that way the next time I go to the VA. I found wizards at my clinic site who have great tips and shortcuts. I want to become a wizard at my clinic site. And B, I want to find more wizards because I don't know where the wizards are, and I want to find the EMR wizards. That's definitely something I'm trying to do, and I'm gonna make a video soon about like kind of the EMR thing. I just like spending time on the EMR trying to figure out how to use it better. It's kind of weird. So I guess these people are looking forward to their inpatient rotations. I'm looking forward to coming home and looking on Epic for new smart phrases and stuff. So I guess different beans for different. So what do you love about medicine? I love analyzing and processing. I love marrying complex thinking to intimate human encounters. This is very romantic. I love to marry complex thinking to intimate human encounters. All right. What do you dislike about medicine? The administrative side of clinics. And I think this is a big thing. The growth of administration in medicine is a little bit absurd, and it's what's caused people to burn out of medicine because, like I mentioned before, all the additional documentation and hoops we have to jump through just to do simple things. And the rise in healthcare costs has actually been more correlated with the rise in administrative costs rather than, rise in doctor salaries. I think that's a big misperception that the public has. Obviously, you need to have those hospital administrators, but I think it has gone to a point where it has gone a little bit too far, and there's too many people, who are disconnected from the actual field of medicine that they don't even really know the practical impacts of the changes that they're doing. Dealing with new EHRs can feel very draining some days. Totally agree. And I feel like more time is spent trying to find the right way to put in a certain consult than learning about or being with the patient. Totally agree. I'm so lucky that I can connect with my husband daily. He is amazing. We decided to live close to the beach so that anytime we can pop by the water for a quick surf. This person must be in San Diego. I believe that I have 2 roles on my medical team: to learn as much as I can every day and stay dedicated to my studies, and to be a lion for my patients, advocating fiercely for them and their needs. This sounds like a medical school admission essay. It's a little bit corny. It's a little bit cheesy, but it is, different boats for whatever floats different people's boats. I think that's something about boats. All right. How have I changed since starting residency? I've become much more comfortable with discomfort. Okay. Not bad. A little cheesy, Intern 3, but I liked all the sentiments. Intern 4, let's go. What are you most looking forward to in the next 3 to 6 months? Going through difficult situations, whether it's managing a difficult case or dealing with difficult social or emotional issues, it's very inspirational to see some of the seniors handling tough situations so effortlessly. I really guess they must have framed this where it's like, what are you looking forward to most in like medicine in the next 3 to 6 months? Because nobody said like, I'm looking forward to like Christmas, or I'm looking forward to like playing League of Legends or something. Okay, not that, but this person's looking forward to going through difficult situations. Which sounds like doesn't make sense, but I can kind of agree with that, because you want to go through difficult situations. You'll gain a lot of confidence because you'll know that you've gone through it before and you were able to handle it back then, and now you know what to do better in the future. So it kind of does give you the sense of confidence. It makes you feel like a more confident doctor overall by going through more difficult situations. What's a challenge you have overcome in the last 3 months? I started off the year with wards. I felt the learning curve was very steep. Where are the different patient rooms on different units? How do I answer any of these pages? Where is this hidden snack room on the 6th floor? Now the answers to these questions come with relative ease. And I totally agree. There's just so many little things that really bother you at the start because you have no idea how to do anything. And I really feel like there could be some better efforts made during the orientation process to really help people not have to go through these struggles at the start of intern year. And that's something I kind of want to work on if I have time at some point to help next year's interns. But it is also a thing. It's like, if maybe everybody should just go through this process. Maybe that's like how it's supposed to be. But I feel like having a better orientation could help a lot with that. I enjoy talking to patients and their families and getting to know their history. The best is when we get to deliver good news. I totally agree. What do you dislike about medicine? When the patients and our team are not on the same page. I am fortunate to have a good group of friends from college not too far from me. Making a weekend trip is something I do on a fairly regular basis. So as I mentioned before, you can clearly see how location just plays a huge role in how happy people are. My friends from intern year are also great, and we've made time for happy hour, hiking, camping trips, and game nights. That's cool. Camping trips? That's really cool. I want to do some more in-person things as well. We've been doing a lot of game nights among us almost every night for a couple of weeks. But once the vaccines come out, hopefully we can get to doing that kind of stuff more. And how have you changed? I feel more confident in my abilities to take on new and difficult tasks. The first day of any new rotation is difficult. However, I've learned that in just a couple of days, I adjust and adapt, and things flow a lot more seamlessly. This is probably something that holds true for anything in life, which makes the future a lot less daunting. Yeah. Totally agree with this as well. I will say that so much of medicine is just rotating from one place to another place. And each time you're like starting from scratch and you don't know what's going on and you don't know how to do simple things. And people have to help you with like every single little thing. And you're basically a noob every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. You have to restart over and over and over again. And it's really hard because it feels like you can't build a sense of competency in something. And you can't really develop that fluidness and that like the thing where things start to become automated easier and not take so much cognitive load. But every single day we go in, there's just so much that we have to learn because we're always in a new location, working with a new team and with new types of patients. And that's probably one of the reasons residency is so much more tiring than even the hours might suggest. Like the hours are long for sure, but when you're working those hours, it's also just constantly trying to figure out how to do things, which makes it very, very tough. There's never a point where it's just things just all become automated. But I will say that that is starting to happen over time, but it takes a lot longer because you're constantly going to new rotations and everything like that. So that is a big part of residency and medicine in general. So overall, pretty fun to read. I'm excited to see what their next set of responses is going to look like. Also, another thing with the ACP is they did this cool video series telling stories about certain patient encounters people have had. And one of them that I really liked is this one called Chocolate Mousse or something. And I actually highly recommend everybody check that out. And that was a great video, and I thought it was a very moving telling of a story. It's the Annals Story Slam. So if anybody is interested in it, I would definitely take a listen to this story as well. It was very well told and very fun. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.